Hey guys, so as you can tell from the title of this video, this is part 2 of my 3,000 subscriber special. Make sure to watch part 1 first to learn more about specifically what this video is, and also see my cancelled reviews and cancelled Cars Adventures episodes. But with all that out of the way, let's get started with my cancelled real-life videos. So, videos where I'm not playing a character, I'm just me talking or doing whatever else. At some point in I want to say 2018, I filmed a couple of videos of me playing Disney Infinity, which I was going to upload because Cars stuff was in Disney Infinity, and I thought, you know what, I may as well. Now, I don't think I was playing as the Cars characters for the majority of the video, and that's honestly probably why I canceled the videos, and also because I just didn't really like how they turned out. Another series of gameplay videos that I canceled was Cars Fast as Lightning. I had big plans for this series as I wanted to play through the whole mobile game in episodes. It took a lot of work, I had to be screen recording whenever I played. I found myself really far ahead in the game in real life compared to where I was in uploading the videos, and I was uploading them basically every day just because I had that much content. In fact, I remember skipping over several episodes that I filmed just to be closer to where I was in the game in my own free time. Now, considering the fact that I just spent the last 40 seconds talking about how it was difficult to keep up with doing the series, you may think that that was why I canceled it. But it wasn't. Instead, I canceled it because I got locked out of the Cars Fast as Lightning app. I still don't know how it happened. I've spoke to other people, it's happened to them too. The app is old, it's no longer supported, and unfortunately I was not allowed back in it. And at that point I thought, no point in continuing the series if I can't keep on playing the game, and I just didn't upload those final episodes that I had recorded. And as long as we're still on the subject of Cars characters in video games, I want to talk about a canceled episode of my series, The Story Of. Now, The Story Of, it's a series that I haven't done an installment of in almost like 2 years. Ironic that the series is seemingly canceled when it's a series all about canceled and abandoned ideas in the Cars series. I've done several episodes going over things in concept art um, from all of the Cars movies. A lot of it was theorizing about what could have been, and one day I stumbled upon some interesting information regarding canceled Cars characters in Disney Infinity. As at some point in some trailers, I think it was, the King was shown to be a playable character, but a physical version of the King in Disney Infinity was never released. There were also a couple of other characters that were seemingly canceled for Disney Infinity from the Cars series, and I wanted to do the story of episode going into that, but I couldn't find any images of these characters in action. I remember searching extensively for the images and videos that I had read about, but unfortunately I couldn't find anything, and because of that I canceled the episode. Now, much more recently than that Infinity video, which I think I planned on making at some point in either 2018 or 2019, I planned on bringing back the Story Of series in October of 2020 with an episode going over the deleted scene in Cars 3, which featured a cameo from the Batmobile. That's right, the Batmobile was supposed to be in Cars 3 in an early version of the movie where Lightning was going to go to a Hollywood party, and you were going to see the old Batmobile and the new Batmobile having a conversation with each other alongside a lot of other famous cars like the Ecto-1 from Ghostbusters. I filmed this whole video, and a lot of it was speculation as I discussed what version of the Batmobile I thought would be in it, potentially who could voice them, if they were going to get one of the actual Batman voice actors or not. I had a whole lot of fun making that video and speculating, but everything came crashing down when I was looking for images for the video and found a Take 5 a Day post showcasing some concept art that showed the two Batmobiles that were going to be in the scene, and that just completely destroyed my whole video being speculation regarding what versions of the Batmobile would have been in Cars 3. Now let's move from the story of to weird products, as I have quite a few cancelled episodes of my weird product series. In weird products, I take a look at weird cars products that I find online and I talk about them and poke fun at them. The first two episodes of Weird Products focused around weird Lightning McQueen products, and then the third one focused around weird Mater products. The episode after that focused around Weird Luigi and Guido products. Then I did 2 episodes of weird products about the Radiator Springs Townies. After that, I did an episode about Weird Cars products, and since then, the series has continued, with some episodes being about specific characters, and some episodes being about specific types of products like costumes or foods, etc. Originally, though, instead of doing a bunch of episodes for different characters, I just planned to do a Weird Products episode on McQueen, then a follow-up episode, then one on Mater, and then transition the series to a series just called Weird Cars Products, where in every episode I look at a wide assortment of Cars products regardless of character. I soon realized, though, that there were a lot more Cars products out there relating to specific characters than I thought, and so I've continued doing character-specific episodes. Now let's move on to some ranking videos. In the middle of 2019, I did a video where I made a tier list ranking all of the cars released in 2006. I then plan to continue that series by doing an episode on the 2007 cars, but I soon realized just how many cars were released in 2007, and I decided not to go through with it since the video would just be really long and pretty difficult to make. Much more recently, I canceled another tier list of a year's releases, this one being for all of the new releases in 2020, which I recorded and wasn't too proud of, so instead I went with making a video where I just casually went over my thoughts on the releases in 2020. Also, at one point in 2019, I planned on doing a video rating all of my McQueens out of 10. For this, I actually typed out a script where I gave each McQueen a number ranking out of 10 and then gave a very short description as to why I gave it that rating. At one point, I just stopped writing all of the different ratings for the McQueens and never picked it up again, and just silently stopped working on that video. Despite this, I still kept the list of the Lightning ratings up until just a few months ago when I deleted it for storage reasons. Before I did my tier list video ranking all of the Cars tunes, I originally planned to do a series where I individually reviewed each and every one of the Cars tunes Mater Tall Tales, and then gave them several different ratings based off of several different factors like the story, etc. I even fully recorded my review of Rescue Squad Mater, but just decided to cancel it. In early 2020, you guys might remember this one because I brought it up several times, I planned on doing my own award show all about the 2019 Cars Diecast line. The T-Toy Reviews Tie Diecast Awards were originally set to be released on January 30th, and then I pushed them back to whatever day the Oscars were. I don't remember what day specifically, I just know I pushed them back to be released the same day or the same weekend as the Oscars. Eventually, though, I decided not to complete the video. It ended up being a lot more difficult to make than I thought. I didn't really like how it turned out, and I didn't really get that much viewer feedback regarding what people wanted to see win each category. This is an idea that I'm really upset that I had to cancel, and it's one that I'll probably be trying again soon. I really want to do it for the 2020 Cars Diecast line, and in order to accomplish that, I'll probably open up some Google Forms where you guys can vote for who you want to see win each category. Speaking of those categories, though, I put up those categories on my blog on January 21st of 2020. There are too many to go through here, but you can check them out on my blog if you'd like. But again, all of the nominees were just my own personal choices, and if I try this again, I'd really like to have it be voted on by you guys. Then again, the Oscars are chosen by a mysterious academy, an academy that didn't nominate the Lego Movie for Best Animated Picture, but nominated The Boss Baby. Moving on. In November of 2020, I planned doing a T-Toy Reviews Tie discussion on Cars Diecast releases that people thought were underrated or overlooked. But, similar to the Diecast Awards, I didn't really get all that much viewer feedback regarding who people considered underrated or overlooked, so I decided not to do the video. And finally for this category, 2020 The Hunt. With just how well my 2019 Hunt series did and just how much I enjoyed doing it, of course I plan to do a Hunt in 2020 and even film some footage for it, which I'm about to show you guys in just a few minutes. Unfortunately though, with everything that's gone on this year, I decided just to hold off on doing hunts this year and will probably try picking them up again in 2021. I filmed some footage in a store in January, and haven't filmed in one since, well, aside from when I filmed this in Walmart back in October.
Pop it to start.
But, that doesn't really count as Cars Hunt footage. Anyway, though, here is what I did film for the first episode of 2020 The Hunt, before canceling the episode and eventually the whole series. It appears I've picked up the leftovers of this case. We've got the classics, Harvey, Redcap, Silverchick Hicks, and Old School Ramon. I had to get a new Old School Ramon because mine is a wreck. We've got Jambalaya Chimichanga. We've got Jambalaya back here, no longer a rubber tire release. We got the single of Paul Conrav. It's just making me realize how good a year 2020 is. I'm just waiting for Metallic Cow. And of course, my favorite Cars Diecast, the Joaquin Phoenix Joker movie. And now that I've shown that, let's move on to the next segment, Character Series where I'm playing as the Cars characters. Simple as that. Quite a few series in the early days of my channel really didn't take off, the first of those being Cars My Version. Inspired by the Cars Police, who at the time had recently done a series where he did his own version of Cars 2, I thought I'd do the same for the first Cars movie. Yeah, great idea, Ty. Great idea. Recreate the first Cars movie when you only owned like 5 of the Piston Cup cars from the first movie. The first episode released, titled Joining Rusty's, was one of the first videos I ever uploaded. I think it was like either my 3rd or 4th video ever. And, actually, the version that was uploaded is the second time I tried filming that whole video. Now, I've gone over this several times, but I filmed with, of all things, an iPad mini for the first year on my channel until it broke, and since then I've been filming with my iPhone 7. But before then, before I did YouTube, I would frequently film with this knockoff GoPro that I have. I never use it anymore, mainly because it's a knockoff GoPro, and GoPros have that fisheye lens, so it's not really the best for a review. But I filmed this video with that, since, it was one of the first videos I filmed, and I didn't really know any better. And it caused McQueen to have, like, this weird pinkish hue. Like, it messed up with the lighting, and I really didn't like it. So I decided to refilm it with the iPad mini. But anyway, after I uploaded the official first episode of Cars My Version, I did film a second episode focusing around the Piston Cup race, but I never uploaded it and never did any further work for the series, leaving that one first episode all alone. So, I've been trying to do this video sort of in chronological order, for the reviews and for the Cars Adventures episodes, and now somewhat for this, and I was trying to figure out which of these next 2 series to talk about first, and then I realized that I announced them both on the same day, October 9th, 2017. You know what? I'm talking about Life as a Spy first. Cars Life as a Spy was a series that I planned and actually released quite a few episodes of. It centered around Rod Torque Redline and how he joined Chrome. He was surrounded by his own side cast of other characters, and looking back, I have pretty fond memories of it. I think it was pretty fun, although, the episodes really weren't all that good. I released 2 trailers, both on the same day, also the same day that I announced the next series we'll be talking about. Then I did the first episode on October 10th, the next one came out 14 days later on the 24th, and then the third episode came out on November 15th. The series ends there, though, with no official conclusion. However, at one point, I want to say a good few weeks after I uploaded episode 3, I did plan on doing a finale. Instead of doing several episodes wrapping up the storyline, I thought it would be cool to do one big, longer episode as the finale to Life as a Spy, and I filmed what I thought would probably be about a 20-minute episode to wrap up all of the plot lines. However, unfortunately, I never uploaded it, and now Life as a Spy remains incomplete. On the same exact day that I announced Cars Life as a Spy, I uploaded a trailer for a potential plane series asking for a whole 3 likes for me to get the series off the ground. You see what I did there? Off the ground? Just planes? Whatever. Now, I wanted to do this series despite the fact that I had no planes diecasts at the time. I only had a Hydro Wheels Dusty with pontoons and Chug. But I still wanted to make this series work, so I came up with the concept of calling it Planes the Rejects, and it would focus around Dusty, who can no longer fly, which is why I would be using the Hydro Wheel version, because some sort of crash stopped him from being able to fly, and now he wants to train a bunch of planes that are really bad at flying, and those planes were to be all of the planes that I had from the Cars movies. I had no planes diecasts, but I had like the Dynaco helicopter and Barney Storman and other characters like that. I'm pretty sure I immediately started filming episodes after releasing that trailer, and I had about 3 episodes filmed. I even uploaded a second trailer the very next day on October 10th of 2017, and I'm pretty sure that trailer used footage from some actual episodes I'd actually filmed. Now, unfortunately, I don't have those videos anymore, but I do remember some plot details. Again, Dusty has crashed, or in the past had crashed, and a bunch of the other cars in Prop Wash Junction were currently not in Prop Wash Junction, and this only left Dusty and Chug. And I think it's pretty funny that I ended up doing something similar to that in that canceled Cars Adventures episode that took place in Prop Wash Junction. I guess just saying that cars aren't in Prop Wash Junction is how I would get away with not showing any Planes characters because I don't have that many. Anyway, though, unfortunately, Planes the Rejects fell by the wayside. I then did another video, though, on February 5th, 2018, asking if I should make a plane series again. Now, with a few more planes under my belt, including an actual diecast of Dusty, I asked for a whole 5 likes to make a new plane series. I showed some footage, just a little trailer, and it was going to be called Planes Adventures, of course, going alongside my Cars Adventure series. Even though the video got more than 5 likes, in fact it currently sits at 12, I just decided never to go through with it. And honestly, I think that's for the better. On October 23rd of 2017, I released a very short Halloween special called Bugged, putting my micro drifters on a track for the Hex Bugs. I guess I just had my Hex Bugs out at the time and was like, wow, hey, these micro drifters can kind of go on these tracks. Let's make a video of that. Bugged focused on a bunch of Cars characters being shrunken down and being chased around by the Hex Bugs. They were shrunken down by Professor Z, and I planned on doing a sequel if that video got 3 likes. Unfortunately, to this day, you'll notice that even 3 years later, that video, it still only has 2 likes. Still hasn't gotten that 3rd one. No, but seriously, I filmed a sequel to Bugged, and I filmed a 3rd video, and even a 4th video, and I just remember that things got way out of hand in these sequels as Lightning made an attempt to save his friends. Alright guys, now let's finally leave 2017. Finally. I never realized just how many canceled series I had back in 2017. I was announcing things left and right. I was cranking out like 6 Cars Adventures episodes in one day. I was reviewing cars without doing outros. My outro itself, which wasn't made by me, it was made by somebody else, used Faded by Alan Walker as the music in the background, and I had no idea that that was an actual song until about 2 years later when I heard the real thing. Yes, I'm being serious. I had no idea that my outro music was an actual song, and you know what? It's a good thing that it hasn't been copyright claimed yet. Fingers crossed. No, but seriously, I was doing so much stuff back in 2017, and as I moved into 2018, I think my videos got a lot more refined. I was doing videos still very frequently, but putting a bit more time and effort into each individual upload, and I was still announcing new series, one of which is Piston Cup Races, a series that I announced in July of 2018 that was really, really popular with all of you guys. Every single episode of it, all 8 of them, currently sit at over 1,000 views, with some being over 2,000, one being over 3,000, and one being at 4,700. So clearly, people were enjoying this series, but I had to cancel it for several reasons, the first of which being that it was just becoming way too difficult to make. I had to take out all of my Piston Cup racers off of my shelf. I had to set up a track. It was just a total mess because of just how many cars I had to have out at once for that video. The cleanup process was a nightmare. They took a very long time to film and edit. They were much longer than my typical videos. And add that to the fact that I was having difficulty keeping the series consistent with the timeline I had set up for what racers are doing what in Cars Adventures, and eventually, unfortunately, the series just fell through. Alright, get ready, because we're about to do a massive time jump from summer of 2018 to November of 2020, where I announced Mystery Racer Adventures, a series starring a character I'd introduced recently in Cars Adventures, the Mystery Racer, someone who goes up against and challenges a bunch of different racers. I released the first 2 episodes, but I wasn't too proud of how they turned out, and they weren't doing as well as I had hoped. After episode 2, I wasn't really sure with where to take the series. I wanted to revamp it so that it could be doing better and so that people would have more interest in it. And to do this, I considered starting up a storyline that would carry over from episode to episode. However, I didn't really think that would work since the idea for the series was supposed to be that each episode was its own standalone thing. I came up with a new idea for a 3rd episode though, and was really excited to do it, but eventually I just decided not to. Now, I'm not sure if I ever will continue the Mystery Racer Adventure series. Unfortunately, it might just be another series that doesn't last too long, but who knows? Because it was recent, it's still in my mind. Maybe, just maybe, I'll do another episode someday. One of my favorite videos that I've done all year is Sarge Films, a very short video where I do a bunch of really quick movie parodies, but every character is Sarge. I especially enjoyed putting together a bunch of fake posters. I took the posters of the real movie, and I edited Sarge's head over every one of the characters, and I poorly replaced one of the words in the title of the movie with the word Sarge. I really enjoyed it, and it's a video that I definitely want to do a sequel to, but Sarge Films wasn't always supposed to be about Sarge. Originally, Sarge Films was going to be a series called Speeding into Theaters, where each episode would focus around 2 or 3 longer movie parodies. These parodies would come in the form of fake movie trailers, which basically carified a well-known movie or parodied it just with Cars characters. The first episode, I had 2 definitive parodies planned. The first was to be a Batman parody. For this, I started repainting some cars to make brand new customs, one of which would be Bruce Wayne, one of which would be Batman, and the third of which would be the Joker. The other parody I had planned for this was to be called A Car Is Born, originally set to star Sweet Tea and Robert Jam Jones, who I still don't have, but I was planning on doing the video after I got him. And you know what? I think it's probably a good thing that I never made that part of the video because I've never actually seen that movie. Might just be the only one though, considering the fact that the music video for the song from it has over 1 billion views on YouTube. Look at that! Over 1 billion! That's crazy. That video's doing like Ryan Toy Review's numbers. You know, Ryan Toys Review, the kid that comes up whenever you look up my channel name, or whenever you walk into Target. No, but seriously, I originally planned to do those 2 parodies, and I wasn't really sure what I wanted the third one to be. Eventually, an idea popped into my mind for Sarge Wars, obviously a Star Wars parody, but the joke was going to be that every character in it was played by Sarge. And eventually, that idea transformed into just being a whole video where I parodied movies, but every character was Sarge, and the movies that I was supposed to parody still got in some capacity, even though I did Batman vs. Superman, instead of just a regular Batman movie. Now, if you're wondering what I'm going to do for the customs I made for this video, honestly, I really don't know. I may still finish them even though the video was cancelled. I'm just not too sure yet. Now, before we move on to the final category, which will be going over my cancelled movies, I want to briefly talk about some non-Cars videos that I cancelled. When my channel first started out, I promised to do Cars, Star Wars, and Marvel content, and released quite a few Star Wars videos and one or two Marvel videos as well, until eventually dropping them like a week after I started my channel. I realized that I really just wanted to mainly focus on Cars, and also felt like my audience would be divided because people who came there for Marvel and Star Wars content probably didn't want to watch a car review. But early on, I was filming videos left and right to eventually upload, and quite a few of those were non-Cars videos that I just never got around to uploading. Up first was to be a video that wasn't Marvel, Star Wars, or Cars. Instead, I was going to be reviewing a Tsum Tsum. You guys know what those are. They were Disney plushes. They kind of look like pills, and you're able to stack them on top of each other. In my first video, I showed off a few of them, including, I think, Stitch and Rolf from the Muppets, and I filmed a whole review of the Tsum Tsum of Rolf, but I never got around to uploading it. I also plan to do a whole Star Wars series called Star Wars: A Different Galaxy that would take place in my own unique Star Wars timeline, where things were different from the actual movies and other canon. The series was to use my Star Wars action figures, although it wouldn't have been stop motion. It would have just been me moving them around, and in hindsight, that probably would have turned out awful. I did film a trailer, but luckily, I never uploaded it, because it was probably very, very cringy. Last summer, I went to California and spent a few days in Disneyland. There, I filmed this huge Disneyland video. It was over 2 hours long. Of course, as I mentioned earlier, I deleted it over some COPPA concerns, but nothing really came of that, so I'll probably, again, release it. I have it saved, like I said. But anyway, before I went to Disneyland, I spent a few days in San Francisco and filmed a bunch of footage there as well that I plan to put at the beginning of the Disneyland video. In the end, though, I filmed a whole lot of footage, and I thought people wouldn't really be interested in the San Francisco part and would probably just skip to the Disneyland part anyway, so I decided not to add it in. I kept all of my footage from San Francisco from like 3 days of my vacation on my phone until just last month when I had to delete it for storage. But I still salvaged a few random pieces that I didn't delete for some reason. So here they are. This is some footage without audio of the plane landing. It actually, I think, ended up in the real video in an edited form. It seems I'm very interested by that Southwest plane. Then a bit of my footage from the Redwood Forest was salvaged. No, the camera doesn't pick this up all that well, but the quality, like the way that the sun hits the trees, it looks like modern CGI, which is just, I guess, a good thing for how far CGI has come, but like this looks animated almost in the super realistic modern Pixar way. Just gonna go like live in here for a little bit, no one will notice. No one. I also have some footage from Alcatraz left where I made entirely too many jokes about X-Men: The Last Stand. For those of you who don't know, the third X-Men movie ends with a fight on Alcatraz. There's a scene where the Juggernaut destroys a bunch of walls in it. And I just made a bunch of jokes about that movie when I was there. I even wore an X-Men shirt I have. And on your left, you will find the wall the Juggernaut ran through. I'm sorry, I've gotta stop with all these jokes. And finally, here we just have a bit of random footage that would have been used during a montage in the video. And the last non-Cars video that I want to talk about is one that I actually had made for my second channel, but never uploaded. This was back when I was frequently doing additional content on my second channel, and sometimes it was not Cars related. I mean, usually it was, but you know, it was a bit more loosely related to Cars, and I would oftentimes talk about other things. I filmed a video of me going to some different stores during the 2019 Star Wars Triple Force Friday event. I went out to a bunch of stores that day looking for the new Star Wars merchandise that had released, and filmed some of my experience with hopes of uploading it to my second channel, but I never did. I still do have that footage though, so here it is. So today was Triple Force Friday. Now this is a thing they do for every new Star Wars movie release. And they just like have a huge merchandise drop of everything coming out, like the first waves for everything for a new movie. And this year, with the release of a new video game, Jedi Fallen Order, and the Mandalorian show coming to Disney Plus, in addition to Episode 9, they just released a bunch of stuff. That's what you just saw. These are the only two things I bought. The last Walmart that we went to had nothing at all. Like, we even asked the guy, nothing. But, I do collect the Black Series figures, not to the extent of, obviously, the cars. I just buy the ones that I want to get. I was looking for the Mandalorian himself, as was another guy that we talked to at Walmart for a little bit. But, no luck. But yeah, this is a Sith Trooper, looking pretty cool, and just a normal Stormtrooper who I wanted to get because of the riot gear, which I absolutely love that scene from The Force Awakens where he yells, traitor, one of the Stormtroopers. So yeah, here are the descriptions if you want to pause and read, and we'll get them out of the package. So here's my current Black Series figure display as it stands, or in this case, as it falls, and yeah, they don't all have their accessories since I started buying these in 2015. As you could see, I haven't been, like, really all that focused on collecting them. My stores are really bad, and I've mainly focused on buying the 4-inch figures all these years, although this year I put more of a focus on getting the 6-inch ones. Now, I did check out the 4-inch ones being sold today, although nobody all that interesting. But yeah, I've got to go through a bin of all my other figures and hope that I could find their accessories like Kylo's lightsaber, Jin's gun, Akbar's gun. But I'll have to set these guys back up and then put the new troopers maybe behind Phasma. This is probably my favorite figure in the collection. I just think this is so cool. Sorry about that broken helmet. And now, finally, it's time to talk about my canceled movies. After I had a whole lot of fun making my Hey Cal movie at the end of 2017, I told everyone, guys, we're doing a sequel. I had big plans for the sequel to my Hey Cal movie. I made an absolute ton of customs, I got a bunch of people to do voice work for it, and I even wrote a full script. Now, I don't usually write scripts for my videos, not even for, like, the movies. I just know what I'm going to do in the scene before I film it. But I had fully written out a script for Hey Cal 2. And because of that, I was able to easily give people their lines, people who, of course, are voice acting for the movie. I released several trailers for Hey Cal 2. I released several reviews for the new customs for Hey Cal 2. It was going to be a big thing, but unfortunately, it all just sort of fell through and never got made. I delayed it several times. I had difficulty with the filming, with integrating the voice lines that I had gotten. It was just a whole big mess, unfortunately, in the end. Since then, I've repurposed almost all of the customs for Hey Cal 2, probably most notably the custom of Cal and his new look for Hey Cal 2 has since been repurposed as Cal for my Cars McQueen's Team movie, and I still have him to this day in that form. So this movie was supposed to be all about Cal and a bunch of other racers, including a bunch of new custom-made characters, being a part of a racing series called the World Championship. Kinda similar to the World Grand Prix, but also kinda different, as they race across a bunch of different terrains, and Cal tries to prove himself on the racetrack here. Unfortunately, I eventually deleted the script. After clinging onto it for quite a while, I just decided to get rid of it. And so what you see in the trailers and what I remember is basically what you get for the story. Cars Redline was my biggest project at the time of making it, and is still my longest movie that I've ever done. It was such a big project, in fact, that I still haven't released another movie in the over 2 years following its release. But Redline was a big thing on my channel while I was making it. I was promoting it all the time, and I was really excited to make it. I eventually made it, I released it, and you guys seem to really enjoy it. Because of this, I promised a sequel to Redline even before the first movie was released. I knew that I was going to continue this story in some way, especially because of the cliffhanger that I left the first movie on. But here we are 2 years later, and there still isn't a Redline follow-up. So, what happened? Well, of course, doing the first Redline movie was a lot of hard work. A lot of filming, a lot of implementing voice lines and all that, and it was pretty difficult to put together, so I wanted to take a break before I had to do something like that again. In December of 2018, I planned on doing a short Redline follow-up, bridging the gap between Redline and Redline 2. This is actually why my Redline McQueen custom is painted blue to this day. I repainted him for that. I had plans to do this. I started filming it. I even sent some lines to BGM Studios, who voiced the head agent for Rod Torque Redline in the movie, but I just decided to cancel this short follow-up. As we continued into 2019, I started considering a new idea for a Redline follow-up. Since the original one was so much hard work, I thought it would be a bit easier if I split it up into parts, making Redline 2 its own mini-series, of which I would release one episode every month throughout the year. This didn't end up happening though, once again. As for where the progress on a Redline follow-up is currently, I still plan on doing it someday. I'm not sure how I'll do it, or when I'll do it, whether it'll be a movie or a series. At this point, honestly, I think I'll just make it a movie, but I do know that one day I do want to finish the story that I started in Redline. And finally, Cars Fine-Tuned. You guys probably know about this. I announced at the beginning of 2019 a movie shorter than my usual ones, focusing around Snotrod, how he first ended up in Tokyo, and how he met DJ, Boost, and Wingo. I had a lot going for this movie. It was going to be simpler than Redline, it was going to be shorter than Redline, I was going to be the only one doing the voices. I had the plot planned out. I did a bunch of different trailers, including some character trailers. I filmed some clips, and I even filmed the first part of the whole movie. Eventually, though, I just sort of silently canceled Fine-Tuned. It was taking longer to make than I had hoped. I, again, started filming it, but I just never ended up finishing it. But I do still have all the footage that I filmed for Cars Fine-Tuned. So, to end off this massive, over an hour-long, 3,000 subscriber special, it's time for you guys to finally see what I made of Cars Fine-Tuned.
Finally, we're gonna be able to pull off this heist. Yeah, we'll steal everything in here. It's a surplus hut. I'm sure he's got a lot of old valuable items. Yeah. Then it'll be you and me, pal, at the top of the crime world. You and me. Just you and me.
Actually, it's you and I. I'm sorry, that's just proper grammar.
Who the heck is this? Oh, he's the Thoid guy. The Thoid guy? Yeah. Remember when we had those, open auditions? Oh, yeah, in the Walmart parking lot. Yeah, he's the guy we picked. Oh, okay, he's the guy from the Walmart parking lot. Alright, yeah, I think I remember him now. So why exactly did we pick him? Did he have, like, a particular set of skills? Or, like, really good combat training? Does he know how to pull off a heist? And he's the only one that showed up to the auditions. Uh-oh. So, pal, this is your first job working with us. Look, pal, Pushover and I, we're gonna go into the store and we're gonna steal as many things as we possibly can. We need you on lookout duty.
Okay.
So we need you to stay out here, act like a pedestrian, you know. If any car drives by, ask what you're doing, say you're buying your daughter a birthday present.
At an army surplus store?
Yeah. You're buying your daughter a birthday present, okay? And, you were just about to go in. Alright? And if we hear you say that, we'll know that it's time for us to book it. Okay? And then we'll make our grand escape, okay? Because we can't have anyone knowing we're pulling off this heist. But don't make a noise, okay? No loud noises, or else you may wake up the whole darn town, okay? Keep that engine of yours, keep it quiet, okay? what was this guy's name? I believe it was Snotrod. Snotrod. Why do they call you Snotrod?
I have very bad allergies.
You hired a guy named Snotrod? Shh!
I thought you said to be quiet.
You hired a guy named Snotrod to be a part of our thief group! You kidding me? Whatever, Snotrod. Go on lookout, okay? We'll go in.
Okay.
Now, how do we get in?
Maybe the door's unlocked.
They're not gonna unlock the door. Oh. Oh. Hold on.
Okay,
Hey! Oh, man. There we go. Yeah. Let's go in. Are you sure there's not gonna be anyone in here? Yeah, I double checked. The owner's on vacation.
Alright guys, good luck. I'll just keep a lookout. Alright. Everything here is okay. Everything's just fine. Everything's okay. All the cars in the town are asleep. What was that noise? Oh man. I love having my midnight seaweed organic fuel.
I knew something smelled funny.
Oh no. Oh, I know that smell. Seaweed organic fuel. I'm allergic to seaweed organic fuel. Like, badly allergic. Achoo! 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 Achoo!
Oh man, this sneezes sound awfully violent. What could be making them?
Achoo! So, who exactly are you? Achoo!
Why's this door open? Sarge is on vacation.
No, wait. Oh man, what was the secret sentence again? What was it?
Hey, Airborne? Yeah, we got ourselves an unwanted guest. Mom? But I told you never to find me! Never mind, you're not my mother. What exactly are you two doing? Snotrod! That loser, he was supposed to tell us that the cops were here. Curse you, Snotrod! So, what brings you here today? Oh, Snotrod, one of my favorite patients. How is it going, buddy?
Not very well. I'm having a bit of trouble, fitting in, making friends, doing things. Because of my allergies.
Oh, allergies, yes, I know. Allergies are not a thing that can be cured, Snotrod. You could take medication to not to make them as bad, make them go away for a little bit.
Yeah, allergy medicine doesn't work well on me.
With someone allergic to as many things as you are, my friend, I'm afraid they don't work. No. But after all the years I've been seeing you, I finally found a solution.
Really?
Head west.
Okay.
The air in the mountains, that will make you so much better.
Really?
Yes, maybe settle down there, stay there, I will miss seeing you, Snotrod, but I think it's for the better. For your allergies, for you to be a happier you.
Thanks, Doc. I'll get packing right away.
Wait, hold on! What about my medical bill?
Forget your medical bill! All my life, I haven't known what to do. All aboard the Fix Your Life Express. All my time was spent trying to fix this one issue. Now I'm heading out west. I know it's gonna be the best.
Flight to Achoo! Now boarding.
I think that one's mine. Oh, I'm gonna make my way there. I'm gonna make my way, I swear to you. Gonna make my way there. Kentucky, here I am! Wait, this doesn't look like Kentucky. Oh man, I'm in Tokyo. I'm totally in Tokyo. This is what Tokyo looks like. Yep. How am I in Tokyo? I was supposed to go to Kentucky! Man. Oh man. Remain calm, Snarl. Everything's gonna be okay. You just got on the wrong flight. Everything's gonna be just fine. Except for the fact that you are currently in Tokyo! How did I get to Tokyo? How did I get on the wrong flight? Hey! I'm in Tokyo! Help me! I'm in Tokyo! Excuse me, sir. Do you speak English? I'll take that as a no. Oh man. I have to get out of here. I gotta find an airport. I gotta find an airport. I have to get out of here. Oh man. I have to get out of here. I have to find an airport. I can't read any of these signs. They're all in Japanese. Hey buddy, look out. I have to get off the road. Oh, finally! A building. Oh, it's been hours since I've seen a building. Oh, please answer. Who are you? What do you want? Hi, sir, oh, okay, there's someone in there. Hi, I took a few wrong turns. I went on the wrong flight. I need help getting out of Tokyo. No, I think you're right where you need to be. Officer. What?
And that was what I filmed of Cars Fine-Tuned. And with that, we've reached the end of the video. If you made it this far, or even if you just watched the first few minutes of this video, or if you skipped around or whatever, I want to thank you all so much for watching, and I want to thank all of you for subscribing to this channel over the years, and getting it to over 3,000 subscribers. Anyway guys, thank you all so much for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Say it with me now. Bye now.
I'm still filming. I didn't realize that.